Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bright Founders Talk at Temi. Temi is an international software development company that designs, builds, and delivers software for sustainable businesses and promising startups. My name's Matthew, and I'm joined this evening by Mr. Samson Chiu, who is the founder of Pieneer. How are you this evening, Samson?
Hi everyone. Thank you, Matt, for having me here.
It's great to have you on board. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us now. Samson, before we start, you and I met briefly a couple of days ago. And for our viewers and our listeners, could you tell them a little bit about Pieneer and a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind?
So I was born and raised in Hong Kong, and I moved to the US when I was 18 years old. So it was in 2015. Before I came here, if this is a little fun fact about me. So I used to work in a farm in Australia when I was 18 years old. So because at that time, before I came to the US, I actually dropped out my high school. So, and that's how I became a farmer in Australia for a couple of months. So I worked in Australia for a little bit. At that time, it's my first time that I actually get to know about the people from different countries, because before that, like in Hong Kong, I don't have a lot of opportunities to meet people from like different backgrounds and culture. I think that was a really great experience. It's very aligned with Pioneer in the future, because it's also shown me why community is very important when I was at that age. But then I went to the US. I was living in Seattle as an international student for like a year. I also used to live in Davis, and then I lived in San Diego. So I graduated from UCSD. I was studying communication and cognitive science. This is where I started Pioneer. I started during school. So very interestingly, we started as a podcast. So we made different episodes with different backgrounds and different cultures students. We asked them about I do the podcast, and then I learn more about them. I even learn more how community is. But also what I was facing when I was UCSD, the struggle was I was going on many different social medias and just to try to find a club to join. And there was during COVID when I first transferred to UCSD. And that made me think, oh, that could be an app for that, right? Why there's no platform for organizing all the clubs and events that in school, right? I'm not even live on campus. If you live off campus, you basically disconnected with the school unless you register for something on the first week of school, because they're tabling event. There's some events you can join. If you miss that out, and especially that year during COVID, we basically disconnected. So actually, the school have some resource, right? What were they providing on that website is it's very not interesting. It's not very not fun, right? Is you feel like you're signing up for classes, and also it's not it's not very completed, because they just give you the information and you still have to reach out those clubs, right? And you have to go on their Instagram and send them a message, which is very like not user friendly. So that I take this idea, we build a solution around it that's called Reach. So Reach is an all-in-one platform for student life hosted on app. And currently we have launched it at UCSD just a month ago. We were tested our idea. I think the student club loved it. But we also get some feedback from this testing, right, about the Android version. And then we also figure out a new way to express the whole idea. So there will be new feature coming out very soon. It's about 10 to 12 weeks. There will be the paid version. And then we're now looking for investors, and also we hopefully UCSC are willing to implement it. So this is what I'm focusing right now.
And a lot of things then happening leading up to this point, and I believe you also work a second job at the moment. Tell us how you manage to juggle those two things together.
Yeah, no, I actually, in my life, I've always been working for two jobs. So I'm very good at managing it, because where I started was before I graduate, right? Before I graduate, I was I was doing Pioneer. I was building Pioneer, try to learn some business stuff, right? But like learn about entrepreneurship because that's not my major. I have no knowledge about it. So I was focusing on that. I was focusing on school, but I was a behavioral therapist in one of the school in San Diego. So I was basically because I wanted to do something meaningful, right? I want to make impacts to the kids because it's very rewarding, right? That working with kids and also you see them grow, you actually see them become independent. That was a very rewarding job. But I think because my whole life I always have like many things going on, I think that's very related to my ADHD. I have ADHD. So, you know, when you have ADHD, you either you pick up a lot of things and you obsess to it and then you just do a lot of that. Right now, yeah, this is like a situation that because we still haven't generated revenue yet, so I'm still working for two full time. I'm a manager in Amazon, but I also doing Pioneer. So it's actually worked out perfectly because at that time, like a couple months ago, I was very hoping, right, I can get a job that can perfectly fit my Pioneer works because I need the weekdays to do the meeting, but I also need to work a full-time job in order to support myself. So this job is perfect because they only work 3 days or 4 days, but I work 13 hours a day. So let's say tomorrow I start working from 4 a.m. and I got off of work some 6 p.m. So so that's like a long weekend, but then I have 4.5 days off. But those 4.5 days is the time that I can fully commit it to Pioneer. And I'm very happy to the situation because I also have a great team, right? We have my operational manager. He basically would take care of some of the tasks that I need to take care of during the while I'm working, right? But at night I can still do meetings. I can also like set up meetings and do my meetings during the weekdays on like Monday to Wednesday. So it's still kind of work it out right now. But of course, like I hopefully I can get out of that situation as soon as possible because it was a little bit tired, but but honestly, I think I have more energy than people usually because of my ADHD, right? So like that I turned that into an advantage. I think to me that's an advantage because most of the people, right, a lot of time like if they work those hours they're already tired, but when I get home I feel like it's like, okay, this is the second half of the day now. Yeah, this is how I manage it.
That's fantastic, Samson. Like, really, it's inspirational. And obviously, it's good to hear that it is possible. You know, you mentioned something like Amazon, and you know, I don't know personally much about it, but people often, you know, they'll talk about it like a dead end job. You know, I'm going to end up working at Amazon, but it just shows you that it's possible if you've got the drive, you've got the ambition. It doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as you've got a vision for something greater for yourself. And that's really, really cool to hear that. Now, tell us a little bit about the people that are around you in Pioneer. Who are some of the people that you worked with? Who do you share this dream with?
Yeah, no, so my team to me is my greatest asset because I feel like there's a destiny behind this team. I think I'm very glad that I met all these people, but I mostly work with a few leaders, right? So I work with Naya. He is my operational manager. He is also graduated from UCSD. I met him very randomly on LinkedIn, and we just talk about my idea, and then yeah, we just get along really well. But interestingly, because he's the opposite of me, I'm very abstract, right? I like to build connection. I like to working with people, but it's also because of my ADHD, right? I'm not very organized. So it's not like I cannot learn this skill, right? I'm willing to learn this skill. There's no way that I will do better than someone that born to be, right? So he was planned to become a GPS, you know, like a navigation. I have the vision. I know how to walk through it by taking the step because I always know what's the next step. I think that's very important to me. But then Naya can provide to me of like how the plan should be, like in a very practical way. Because for a company, you definitely need structure, right? So he's the guy that, bring us the structure and make sure we following the timeline. And then I have Adrian. He's our software engineer. He's a hacker. He's from France. So he had been like a hacker for his whole life. It's not like those movie one, right? Just hack into people's system. But he worked on very secure project before. And also he basically have, like, so far for the company until now, every technical problem that we have, he always have a solution, which is very impressive because what he told me about his job is, like, as a hacker, how to turn 10 days, the solution that takes 10 days into 10 hours, and which he showed me in some of the problem that we were facing, which is very impressive. So I have Adrian, and fun fact about him, he's also a crab master in France. Like, he do farmers market on Sunday sometimes, just make crab. But he's a very interesting person. And I have Keith as our UX designer. He's used to be a lead Apple UX designer, and also he used to work in Cricket Car Wash, for the UX design. So he's very good at what he's doing. He has been in the industry for a long time, so he knows how to provide the best user experience. Our app idea, there's so many people trying to build something very similar. But to me, I feel like the very critical point is about the user experience, because the user are the students. You have to align with, you cannot be too much like, very professional or just too, just too not fun. It has to be very fun, right? And plus also we work with Adrian because, he can provide a very high level of data security. So it's amazing. And then we also have Kiki, like Rebecca Kiki. So she is the marketing director, and she's making sure our social media posts, TikTok video, they are all like, reaching out to the audience. So this is how this team works. Everyone in this team, to me, they are the best in their field. No one can even play each other easily. So to me, right, it's more important that to find the people that believe on the vision, and then they're willing to take in charge, and also just just put their best right into the project. To me, it's the most important, because I know that it's the best thing, because that person giving the best of what they can, that's very different. I think this is why I love startup, because that's very different from like you sometimes when you offer, especially at this stage, we're not even allowed to offer, like we're not even able to afford to offer compensation. But I'm able to find a group of people that actually believe on the vision and the project, willing to spend their time and effort for this. I really, really appreciate it. So I love this team. We have great relationship.
That is so cool to see. I can see your enthusiasm. I can see your passion. And to hear that, the guys believe so much in what you're doing, that, like you said, they're willing to give their time, put in their effort. And I really do hope that you will all see the rewards, the fruits of your labors will be sweet and ripe and juicy soon. What does your time frame look like? Looking ahead now, do you think you're almost there? Are you ready? What's happening with the competition? Speak to us a little bit about what's coming in the near future.
So after we launched at a UCSD, right, we have some users, we have student club to join us. But we also right now, because we have two customers, right? We have two users. One is the user, which is the students, faculty and staff. But we also have another very important user, which is the school, right? Because they are the one that implement the platform to the school and implement So we want to fulfill what their needs to. So for me, there's some feature what's meant to build for them, right? Like the life map feature. So we like the life map is a new way to express our idea. Right now, if you open our app, you can see it's just like organization and events, right? You can scroll it like this, or you can see it all and scroll it like this. But instead of just going back, just pressing the boxes, we want the retention. We want the student use this app every single day, right? So we figure out, maybe we can use a life map, like an amusement park. Isn't that cool that we turn school from a boring, just like academic place into something like an amusement park, just like Disney or or like Six Flags? Right, because you can imagine, right, when you're going to Disney, you look at the maps, you know, everything is what's happening everywhere. Where can I get this and that, right? And also now you can see where's the events at. If their organization, they have meetings or what if they're fundraising, you can know exactly where they are. You know, sometimes there's pop-up events. You also get able to know it. But also we're planning it how the school would also benefit from it because, you know, many club was complaining it takes them more than 1 month and a half to just get a room from the school. Why we cannot make this process easily? By having a live map that you can select what is available inside the school, that will be also very helpful in the future. So this is what we building for, like, you know, for like a more developed the paid version in 10 to 12 weeks. So the chat box is also coming out because right now we serve as more like an events marketing platform. They can only check out, you know, events and clubs, but we also want the interaction, right, between students. There will be QR code also, you know, this feature we're going to utilize a lot within inside Reach. We're also trying to connect with the local businesses in the future because those are the resources student organization need. So I do foresee there's a lot of things could be happening in the future, right? But for we also applied for Y Combinator. Hopefully we can get into it. You know, like I'm applying for more accelerator. Want to be a part of those. So this is like after we get the funding, then we can expand our vision more quickly. So this is basically what is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 months. Yeah, but there's a lot of things that are changing, and I believe we are in a good position. We're taking a good way. That's what I believe. Yeah, I always have strong belief. Yeah.
So that's absolutely terrific. Samson, before we go, is there anything you can tell our viewers and our listeners about how can they get hold of you? How can they get involved? Do you need help? What are you looking for? How can we connect the dots here?
Yeah, I mean, right now, you know, we definitely hope that if there's any school interested, you know, a platform like this, that, you know, you can manage your school better about the events and the club, and also with this is it's a more interesting, you know, design and layout, then feel free to reach out. And also, like, if there's any, you know, venture capital, they also lack of a profile that is working with students and working with educational institution. Feel free to add us in. I would love to discuss more about our plan on our move and current situation and what we have been through. And yeah, and feel free, you know, just follow our Instagram. There's Pioneer US and reach.pioneer. And also you can look me up on LinkedIn and feel free to send me a message. Just with Samson Chiu, and you should be able to see me. Yeah, I really appreciate these opportunities to share my story.
I think that's it for now. So once everything is up and running the way that you want it and things are going according to plan, are you still going to work 2 jobs, or are you going to focus just on this?
No, I think I'm just going to focus on one. I do 2 jobs. It's just for the circumstances, right? Because I have to survive still, right? And there's a little expense from the company as well. I can see that if I can be a full-time founder, everything can move so much quickly because I can work a lot. So I really wish that I can get into, you know, become full-time so I can make more impact and I can just speed up everything.
That is terrific, Samson. Well, look, all of us here at Temi, we're all wishing you the best for the future. I'm going to pop onto your LinkedIn there and give you a little follow so I can also keep an eye on what's happening. And I want to say again, thanks for taking time out of everything you do to be here tonight and to share your story with us. I think it's truly quite inspirational.
No, thank you so much, Matt. Like, I really appreciate this opportunity. I enjoy this podcast a lot. Thank you so much.